Sairam. See, I am born into a world where Baba was already there. And I don't know the world without Baba. I stand there. And I know Kasturi because I know Baba. It's also true. Because in our family, with small children around, like my two brothers, was a small family. But Baba was already there. Going to Puttaparthi. And every time grandfather came back to Bangalore, or we came to Puttaparthi, or at least quite often we came and gone, interviews and interviews, and waiting for 2 days. Swami did not call us. Or, okay, one more day. Swami said he will call us tomorrow. It was all going like that. So the connection to Swami, connection to God was, for me, I can say I have no world where I did not see Baba. Okay. My grandfather, he was already known to many people before I knew. His students, his professional circle, teachers and admirers, and he was a good talker and writer. So he had gathered sufficient audience for him, where they will listen to him. And he had the ability to explain things beautifully, whatever that little things happen. And he had that ability as a storyteller and teacher and actor, poetry writer. Poetry was easy for him. He used to say poetry is easy instead of writing an essay. So I can make a poetry quickly. So many things before he wrote, he used to talk to us. Not only us, but for everyone, he used to talk about anything that whatever came into his admiration, he used to talk. So especially about Baba, he spoke more, and rather he has written less. He spoke more. If there was a possibility of recording, he might have spoken at least about 1,000 times to 1,000 different groups. So he spoke more. And he could not stop speaking. At one time, Swami used to tell him whenever he was sick with some cough and cold or fever, and he was in front of Swami, and Swami used to tell him, hey, go and talk about Swami. In the lecture, you lecture about Swami. The lecture is your medicinal mixture. Poi lecture chayi, ade mixture. It was so colorfully and beautifully true. And he used to meet Swami at least about 6 times or 7 times or 8 times, whatever may be the context or pretext. Most of the time it was a pretext to meet him. And he came back. And when he came back from the mandir, from the place, the interview room, what we call interview room today, and then he used to slowly step down and come home, maybe about 100 steps. And slowly people gathered around him, expecting that he's going to tell another beautiful Leela story from Swami. People simply nicely gathered, and most of the times people observed my grandfather as choked or he was filled with bliss. One of the finest expression, he himself wrote it as a poetry, is the first line is from Upanishad. Shrunvantu vishve amrutasya putraha adit vedahametam purusham mahantam aditya varnam tamasah parastat. Every time he came, he had another glimpse of divine in Swami. And he used to say, Shrunvantu vishve, the people in the world, please listen to me. Amrutasya putraha. He used to tell Swami is telling all of you are Amritasya Putra. Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam. He has come as a Purusha in his room. I just now met him. I went to him. Aditya Varnam Tamasaf Parastat. No darkness can hide him. And what he started telling? He started telling everything about the latest, the glimpse of God in Swami. He came. I like to explain this. The last thing what I saw him in his life, the very last thing. And that was, I was ready to understand certain things at the time. Therefore, it is the first thing for me, whereas it was the last thing from the point of Kasturi. Gentleman Jagadishan from Singapore came, Singapore or Malaysia he came. He brought a book, a manuscript to be checked by my grandfather. The book's name was Journey Within. Journey Within. It's one of the last books of the 4 books Jagadishan wrote. And the manuscript was very heavy with about 200-300 sheets, one-sided typed sheets. Grandfather was sick, 1987. And Jagadishan hesitatingly gave it to my grandfather and lovingly asking him, Anna, he was addressed as Anna as a brother. Please, can you go through it and give me 1 or 2 lines? And he left it there during Shivratri and came back during Guru Purnima about 3 months later. My grandfather's physical condition was not so good. It was every day getting down and down and down. And he was not in a position to sit and read. But the book was there by the side. And Jagadishan came. And when he saw my grandfather's condition, he did not want to ask. He only asked me, has he written anything? And I signaled to him, no, sorry, maybe it is not possible. And grandfather looked at me, he said, no, call him. So I called him. So the book was given to my grandfather. He could not sit and read, whereas lying down, the book was held up to him, and then he wrote his last line that day. Last line, it was not so clear. The lines were not so clear because he has to write it upside down, lying on the bed. And he wrote, and Jagadishan observed, within and within. The book's name is Journey Within. Within and within, within and withinner, as we become thin and thinner. Grandfather had this ability to alliteration. As we become thinner and thinner. And he said, we become he. We become he. This is the experience Swami is giving to all of us. We become he. Only it's a thoughtless awareness. No one can explain this. We become he, and he becomes us. The God is playing with his own creation so that the creation becomes himself again. He does not want the world to be separated from him. He has not much joy, but he's taking everyone back into back into himself. And grandfather wrote it, and Jagadishan looked at me, and then he repeated, because the spellings and the writing was not so clear, so he repeated and he repeated. Grandfather was very happy, and I think he did not speak later on. He did not speak. He lived for maybe about another 1 month, but he almost stopped speaking. His voice was gone before, but he was stopped speaking also. This culmination of understanding of what God is. We don't need to understand what the world is, but what God is. That is why all our lives are given to us, what God is. So, there are many statements of Swami throughout Kasturi's life. There are not much personal things for Kasturi. I can only say, I would like to put this emphasis, not personal miracles or personal, but for Kasturi, it was a universal revelations from God himself. And he was the first recipient of many such wonderful statements from Swami. Almost it came spontaneously from Swami. Although it was all the words and all the explanations are same, but some of them stands out. For instance, he used to tell, he came from Bangalore one day to Puttaparthi, 54 or 55, and as he entered the village, there was a gloomy atmosphere. People started speaking about a death which happened in Swami's family, and Swami's sister's husband, the brother-in-law, passed away due to a dog bite. So grandfather, he was rushing to see Swami, but this news was little bit very much disturbing. How can it happen? Swami's own brother-in-law will get a dog bite and die, and Swami cannot do anything. Can he not raise him back to life? And this was the thought was raising in his in him, and then he came to the veranda where the family was surrounded Swami, and Swami was not at all seemed to be disturbed, not at all seemed to be affected by the situation. He was in his own fine way, flying his hand. He was walking up and down as if nothing is affected. And for grandfather, it was a big puzzle. What's happening here? So but he also felt that for that man who died, Mr. Subbaraju, and as a fine man, and something choked him up, and then the tears started rolling down his eyes. This grandfather put all these pictures to me in this way. I did not see it, but he made it. And Swami came to him. Hey Kasturi, what happened to you? Why you are crying? This was a question grandfather did not expect that Swami is going to ask like this. And Swami, what's happening? Are you not disturbed? Is it not affecting you? Swami said, in Telugu he said, Sachedi puttedi lekpothe నాకు ఎట్లయ్యా టైం పోయేది. It's a very simple village like Telugu. If there is no birth and death happening, how am I going to pass my time? And for grandfather, it was consoling for many lives of question of birth and death to know that there is someone who is playing with our birth and death. It's not birth and death, there never ends the life, there never ends the matter. But someone is witnessing, someone is enjoying it. And that someone is in front of me. Grandfather was more or less hugged Swami for life. After this statement, he hugged him. This was a revelation given in a silver platter. How am I going to pass my time if there is no birth and death? All Upanishad, all the Upanishads, all the statements are there in one sentence. We know the Indians, we know that three prayers, Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritangamaya. And Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, we all know the lights went off and we get immediately rush after the light. And many times in life, most of the time we are in the lightless darkness. Something like before the examination results are coming, we are in a darkness. We do not know. Although we wrote the papers, we still await and we enjoy that not knowingness, tamas. And asat, we all know what is asat. And in front of Swami, asat cannot stand. Asat cannot stand because he knows the the depths of the meanings and depths of the happening, depths of the feelings. He knows asat. And Mrityorma Amritangamaya, most of us, we experience this. We see here and there the death and we feel immediately what's happening. But here is Swami. He is here to wipe off all the three things, especially in grandfather's life. He came to Swami when his second son passed away. And for him, it was tamas, asat, and also mrityu. All the three was there on the day, 1947, the Indian independence was declared. In the middle of the night, this son, second son, who was a freedom fighter, I was a college student, and after listening to Nehru's declaration over the radio at 12 midnight sermon, midnight declaration of the Nehru, that India had really had the freedom, then this son passed away. The next moment he passed away. And for my grandfather and my grandmother, this was a uh, not a lifting situation, but it was pulling them down to the pragmatic realities of this is what it is. The country might have freedom, but I lost my son. I have no God, and I don't need to worship anyone. If the God takes away my child, I don't worship that God. It was such a strong, stern situation for both of my grandfather and grandmother, although they were fine in their own life. But thereafter they came to Swami. My grandmother accepted Swami as a replacement for the last son. My grandmother, with her own affection, he almost embraced Swami as son. And Swami had to lift her up from this emotional bonding to a divine situation. Swami has worked with her also in a very affectionate way. That's another story. But grandfather, this subject of life and death on that day was almost cleared off. There is no life and death, but there is someone is watching the life and death, and he is here in front of me. Okay, this is one, the kind of statement grandfather wrote it down and said articles and spoke about again and again about Swami, the life beyond. God is beyond life. The second thing which I remember is Swami had been to East Africa, the only foreign travel. And when Swami came back, the whole Bombay organized a welcome, the return in a Vallabhai stadium where about 2 lakh people could sit. 2 lakh people could sit for Swami for nearly 6 hours, wait. And Swami came, and the public speech Swami was giving in Telugu and grandfather was translating. Swami was in his Vishwarupa. Let us imagine he was in his Vishwarupa, speaking through a microphone, not the systems today, not the digital system, all microphones, the blaring microphones, to all to listen. Swami said, this going to foreign and then coming back, it is nothing special for me. It is like going from one room to the other room. And Swami said, this I prapanchame na illu. He said, this world is, grandfather translated like this, the world is my mansion. Swami looked at my grandfather, he said, no, universe is my mansion. This world is nothing. He put it like that. Universe is my mansion. Definitely it's a Vishwarupa, no? And grandfather, he stopped, said, Swami, I cannot translate. Swami said, come on, you translate. I will. So this is another statement. The universe is my mansion. Just like the one, this was my grandfather's personal experience with Swami. And the one more thing I remember is a similar situation, another fine devotee, 55, 56, and they were there all the time doing all sorts of work in the mandir. The big family, wealthy family, and they had a child, newly born, with blessings of Swami, and they brought the child. They asked Swami to name the child. So there was a ceremony and celebration, naming of a child. Small Puttaparthi, small village, and little, of course, it was always Swami, it's always crowded. But anyway, and Swami said, tomorrow I'm coming at 10 o'clock, we will have in their house, inside the ashram, in their house itself, the naming ceremony. And the whole night, the family was decorating the house with the colors and balloons and things like that, putting rangoli and things like that. It was a little bit of celebration mood. And other people in the ashram, like my grandfather, and they were all waiting for the event to happen the next day. And they were also more or less getting ready for this to happen, naming a child. And night at 2 o'clock, they heard a real cry. The whole family was crying because the child which slowly slipped into under Swami's chair, which was they were making, and died because of a snake bite. The life cannot be brought back. And grandfather again got disturbed. Swami, he went and knocked the door morning at 4 o'clock. He knocked the door, Swami's sleeping room, and he said, Swami, what's happening? Please. They were supposed to celebrate. And the family, such a devoted family for you, but this is happening. And the child is dying in front of you. What's happening? And Swami said another fine statement. Kasturi, you are seeing one child dying, but I am seeing millions of children died. And I am also seeing millions of children born. Shall I cry or shall I laugh? This was another Upanishad statement from Swami in a simple language, in a simple situation. But then grandfather came back and the family was very uniquely put up with the situation. They said, Swami is coming to our house, we should not cry. They took the child in the night itself and finished the, the things what is to be taken, buried or cremated. And they said, Swami is coming at 10 to 3, we should be. And my grandfather was another experiencing. He went to the mother and asked, what's happening? Are you not shaken? Are you shaken by this? And she said, no, my child died under Swami's chair. Swami took the child into his realm. I am happy that child died under Swami's chair. These are the revealing moments. Swami was not revealing to Kasturi, Swami was not revealing to your family, but Swami was revealing himself. There is nothing but God in this world, nothing but God in this world. It was becoming louder and louder and louder and louder, miracle after miracle, miracle after miracles, or the Leela after Leela. It is Swami was making clearer and clearer to the minds of people. We are trying to prove the life can be concocted. Many of the scientists and doctors, they are struggling how the life can be made. But Swami is telling that life cannot be made, but life is a grant. Life is a grace. It is given. You are having it, but make the best use of it. May your life be the best use for yourself, to the people around you. Do maximum seva. Do everything as a seva. Offer everything to him so that you can come back to him. If you want, Swami will give another life. That's another matter. This is that grandfather quite often very emphatically he was speaking about these things because it is his first experience. The other thing was, which I observe in him, is how the closeness to Swami and grandfather. It was something unique. Every day morning, my grandmother went around. There was no flower supplies those days, and she has to collect flowers. The little flowers like tulsi and then bilva, the fresh bilva and tulsi collected by my grandmother, and some tummipulu is a very small flower, and she is collected and gave it to my grandfather. Moment my grandfather was ready by 6 o'clock, which I observed with my, and grandfather put his vibhuti and dressed up himself, and my grandmother gave these flowers to my grandfather, and he put it in his pocket, juba pocket, and went with fine steps to Swami. And by the time Swami had his bath, and he must be, I did not see, but he must be drying up his beautiful hair. And grandfather went to Swami, and flowers were offered at the lotus feet of Swami. This happened for 30 years. The flowers conveyed the feelings of the world to the Lord who is in the form of Swami. These are the unspoken undescribable moments where you are meeting divine in the forum, in the room, under the 40 watt candle, 40 candle light, you can sing Swami. Okay. One such event's grandfather spoke was the his knowing everything. He knew everything, but he allowed us to speak out sometimes. Like my cousin who was in Assam, he has finished his graduation and was going for the post graduation, and he had a dream. In the dream, Swami came to him and told him not to take marine biology and take the entomology. And my cousin, he had prepared his aspiration to go for marine biology so that he can go for the finer institution somewhere around the world. The marine biology was his choice. He thought that will be the sailing, the enjoyment of sailing over the seas. But Swami told him, he was very clear, and take entomology. So he was becoming a scientist. So he wrote a letter to my grandfather. I do not know, maybe you appreciate me or not, because I'm becoming a science student, but I am asking some foolish question. The Swami came to me in my dream and told me that I should take entomology. I am in a perplexed situation now. Should I or shall I not? But whatever you say as my grandfather, I will take it. But I want your support for me. It is a very clear dream. Swami coming and telling, take entomology, don't take marine biology. So grandfather had this letter in his pocket, went to Swami, and he was waiting for that Swami will ask. But Swami did not ask, but Swami started telling. Your grandson had a dream. He wrote it to you. It is there in your pocket. And he is asking, shall I take entomology or marine biology? Swami told me entomology. Tell him, I saved him before. It is true. I saved him before as a child, his hydrophobia. This cousin was a young baby of 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. He had a hydrophobia. His mother had to drag him to water. Moment he saw the water, he used to run away miles, screamed away. And the mother brought him to Swami saying that, Swami, I don't know what's happening to my child. Swami said, don't worry, I will make him all right. So Swami gave $1 for him and then put it on his chest and they said, you will be all right. The same day, the river was Chitravati flowing. It came, some rain came, there was Chitravati was flowing. This cousin ran to Chitravati to have the full joy of get rid of the hydrophobia. And this Swami says, I have helped him out. But now that fellow wants again go to this marine biology as a subject. Tell him, let him take entomology. So this was it is not you are going to Swami, you are coming back from Swami, you have some official discussion and then some budgets or some money matter, nothing. Swami is dealing with life. One life is gone, another life is coming. One more life, one more chance to understand God. Many people understand God, Swami will create more people. Because so many people will have the joy of understanding Him. Million more people, no problem. He will give a new situation. And grandfather was receiving this everyday stimulation of finding God, seeing God, being with God. This was not, it is not easy to talk about these things, okay, in a very trusting situations or very fine situation. We can inspire with these stories with talking to each other. And grandfather was very good at it. He came back and slowly people gathered and then he used to tell, come on. You know what happened today? What happened? Swami said this, Swami made this, Swami told this. And he used to be in tears many times. Tears because he had another speck of truth. It's coming directly from Swami. There was nothing else. The Swami was, although it seems like, as many people speak, that you had that grace of Swami on you, you are very close to Swami, this kind of, we speak about admiringly about a person on whom Swami graced. But for Swami, as much I see from a distance, is that Swami is speaking to one person, but he is speaking to the whole world. There is no separation of lives, millions of lives. Swami does not know. Swami knows only one life, shared by a million life. It is something wonderful to see Swami that, and he is giving this opportunity for us also now also. He's not speaking to one, and therefore he's happy that he spoke to one, but by speaking to one, he's speaking to the family, he's speaking to the community, he's speaking to the society, he's speaking to the entire world. Because Swami is of such unique form. Then the other thing I remember is grandfather was a poet. Means he had the ability to compose words or put meaning into the words. And when he came to Swami, this power of words became more for grandfather. Here he found that how he can use his words for Swami. And every year, those days, there was a Dasara function, now just like this. And then this Dasara function was always comprised of a poet session of poets. And people came from different languages, language groups, English, Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam. And grandfather being a poet with Swami, he would put everything into poetry. All his experience, he could put it in a nice way of poetry. His choice of language was Kannada, but he also wrote it in Malayalam. And many things, he was becoming more and more poetic, and then he composed what he calls Sai Bhagavatam. And this Sai Bhagavatam, it was so fine, the development of the Sai Bhagavatam was so fine that he made it in about 8 to 10 languages. Almost the content the same, but he used the different languages. And many times he requested Swami that he should be allowed to read this poetry for Swami. I know here, there, a little bit of this, but it ends like this. In Kannada language, he says, Satya Swarupam, Dharma Swabhavam, Shantakaram, Premavataram. And at the end, he says, Yava lakko yanage badisi neenu, Yava dikko kadege nadasi neenu. Swami, you know what grace, what fortune you have to serve for me. Please serve me, I will take it. Swami, you know the road or the direction or the way which you have prepared for me, you take me there. I just keep quiet. I just enjoy this being keeping quiet. One more incident I remember in his life is in 1963, Guru Purnima time, Swami was not well for 7 days before Guru Purnima, and the 7th day in front of everyone in a small, full hall public of Guru Purnima of 1963, where Swami was seen by all, including me and grandfather very closely to help Swami. That Swami was put on with a paralytic stroke on the left side, leg, and then arm, and then his face completely collapsed. And maybe about that 50,000 people who came that day, they did not want to see Swami like that. They were banging their heads against the wall. Swami, what happened to you? We came to you as the rescuer, that it is something happening to you. You are losing your speech. You are not able to wave your hand. You are not able to move. And grandfather was very close to Swami, helping him. And The moment was like this. Swami was brought down to the prayer hall. Swami was made and to sit on the little low Singhasan. And Swami asked my grandfather, I am seeing everything in front of me when I'm speaking. And he was putting himself very slowly to reach Swami. Swami was speaking something. And my grandfather could not understand. His speech was so distorted. And next moment, I was 63, I was 11-year-old boy. I heard the whole mandir was crying. Oh, it was crying. And Swami tried to raise his hand to tell people to come down, but he was not able to raise. So grandfather somehow mustered the courage and he took the microphone and he said, Swami says, not to worry, Dikkuleni Vadiki Devude Gati. So some important devotee who seems to be not having any support right now, he has prayed to Swami and Swami has taken the calamity which is falling on him. And Swami says, he will be all right. We have to have that strong devotional faith on him. And the next moment, Swami signed something. The people were there around, Raja Reddy, Krishnappa, and all these people were there. And then the signaling was such that Swami needs water. And someone rushed and brought some water. And Swami was drinking. The hand was shaking, the right one, the hand was really shaking. So somebody held a glass close to the mouth of Swami, and Swami had 2 sips. And then next moment, Swami put his right hand into that cup, and then he took some water, and he started sprinkling on his left hand. And he sprinkled on his left leg also. The next second, Swami was on his feet. And threw all the pillows and things which was packed him into that pillow. And the Swami stood nearly for 1 hour. Swami was speaking about the compassion of Lord Shiva and Shakti to come on this planet Earth and give that darshan to all. Shiva and Shakti, Shiva Shakti Swarupa. The next thing I remember was his, the Goa incident in the Raj Bhavan. Nakul Sains was Goa's governor, and Swami had been there for a Christmas event. And Swami had an appendicitis development on his body. And of course, it was maybe about 4 years later or 5 years later. And this time, grandfather was prepared to see another Shiva Shakti because he knew all the time, consciously he is prepared that nothing will happen to Swami. But when doctors said, this is appendicitis, it is growing like a cricket ball, anytime it can burst. And if it bursts, the life is no more. And it is happening in a fully protected governor's place. There was nothing of a dearth for Swami, but it still is happening. And Swami called my grandfather on a Christmas day, still having the appendicitis, showing the symptoms of pain on Swami's face. And many devotees were asking, Swami, please give this disease to me. You be happy, but give the pain to us. Swami said, you can't. You will jump into the sea. The Swami's bangla was by the side of the ocean. Nakul Sain Swami said, if you have this pain, you will simply jump into the ocean. Since it is happening to me, I am able to hold it. See, there are the inner meanings. The pain which has created this world, it's not just an appendicitis. And so many souls and so many beings, they're all suffering. And Swami has taken it on his body at that moment. And he called my grandfather. You go and tell the press people were there, because it's a governor's office. Announced to the press, today evening, there will be a public meeting and Swami is going to speak. And grandfather, he told me how he trembled to announce this with a view of the thinking of well-beingness to Swami. He thought Swami is going to come with that appendicitis, he's going to speak. And doctors were not allowing him to move, not even to turn around. And Swami said, you go and tell him, go and tell announce. So grandfather, he put those words to the press saying that Swami is going to speak today evening. But when he came back, Swami asked him, "Did you tell?" "Yes, Swami." And then Swami got up and grandfather helped him to go into that bathroom where, and the next moment, grandfather was there outside. And Swami came out. He said, "Appendicitis is gone. I have cleared it out. Today evening, we are going to celebrate Christmas. I'm going to speak." The other fine incident, a little bit humorous, but also when Swami went to East Africa, he took my grandfather. And the Swami one day went for this wildlife sanctuary to see. They were going in 4 or 5 cars. And Swami's car was ahead. And Swami told some of these people, like Indulal Shah, who was in the car, saying that Kasturi's car has collapsed behind. It was true. The Kasturi's car with Dr. Raja Reddy and then negotiating Sambohan Babu, they were trying in a car. At one point, it got tumbled down, more or less rolled 3 or 4 rolls. And finally, the car was upside down, the wheels were up. And grandfather lost a bit of consciousness for a moment. And this other gentleman who was on whom my grandfather was more or less fell. He was telling Kasturi Garu, "Please move a little bit so that I can go out and help you." And when the gentleman came out, Swami was there already. And he took very personal care. Grandfather says, there was a thrill when Swami was holding my hand. Something rushed through my hand. And I did not feel any shock at the time. I was enjoying the Swami's hand holding me. I enjoyed it, he says. Talking of miracles, I would like to explain this one incident with grandfather. Spoke quite often. In 50s, Swami did not have his own house, but Swami was living with different families for a few days, and then he was changing the houses also. So one family was known or figurable in that fact. He was chartered accountant, Venkatraman, and his daughter, now famous Sudha Raghunathan, the very famous musician. And the Sudha Raghunathan was born by grace of Swami to this family, Venkatraman and Chudamani. And Swami was seen particularly interested in this little baby. And the little baby was seen particularly interested in Swami. There was something unique, enviable for all other devotees to see. Okay. But once it seems it happened, grandfather wrote it also. This Venkatramans, they came. They had the interview with Swami. And they were leaving to Bangalore in their car. And they left Puttaparthi. And 1 hour later, Swami called my grandfather. And he said, "See, you write down." Swami told my grandfather, "You write down. All whatever I'm speaking now, you write down. Because you people don't believe, you write down." Something was Swami was revealing, saying that I just now gave life to Venkatraman's daughter, Sudha, Sai Sudha. "Swami, what happened?" my grandfather asked. "See, they went from here, and on the way, the baby died on the lap of the mother in the car. It fainted. It was showing some of the moments of fit, and then baby died. In the Bagipalli, on some cross is there, I forgot the name. And just now I rescued the baby. Right now." And Swami went on explaining the entire detail, saying that they were so much panicked. The car was surrounded by many people around. Many people tried to console these people, and they were screaming. They were screaming at God and screaming at me. And why it happened they were screaming. And meanwhile, I appeared there as an old man, as a fakir, and 2 women around by the side of me, and I appeared as three among the crowd. And some other people recognized me, and they told the mother, "Mother, please give this baby into this fakir's hand." And mother unwillingly gave this, more or less, the blue baby to fakir's hand. And Swami is telling Kasturi, write down, I showed my Baba face to that baby. That means Baba showed his curly hair and the beautiful, charming face to that baby, and the baby came back to life. Kasturi wrote down. And they were happy. The baby was more or less came back to life, and then they were happy. And now, after this was a shock and surprise moment for them. And then Swami says, they wanted to give me some rupees, and I refused the rupees. Swami says, Kasturi, please don't write down. And then, and the lady, she went into the basket and took some fruits. And Swami said, the fruits which I gave them in the interview room, they are giving me back. And then Swami Sim said, I took the fruit, and then they turned it around the baby, and I threw it away. There was some kind of evil situation. It was warded off, it was taken away. And then as a parting talk, I told them, go to your house and make the arati for your Ishtadevata. And then 2 hours later, Swami called my grandfather. Jokingly, he said, they made the arati to Venkataveshwara, but not for me. And 2 days later, the letter came from these people, Venkatramans, thanking Swami for this, giving the baby back to them. And now Swami is telling my grandfather, Kasturi, bring your sheets of paper, which you wrote it down. Compare all the incidents. Compare the incidents. And again and again, I see Swami rescuing the life. Rescuing the life. He gave the life, and he wants to rescue the life so that the life can experience God in the life. It is something, that's why grandfather could not give a caption to the book which he wrote, Loving God. And he said, I couldn't. The loving God is one sentence that is enough to describe Swami. And everything else is only a description of that. And he was very happy to meditate on this loving God as a name for Swami to the book. And then it was truly a loving God for him.